Hello again, music fans. I am back here to do another metal genre spotlight on perhaps the most popular of all metal genres, which is thrash metal. I think, across the board, most metal fans are also thrash fans. I'm going to do some usual suspects here and also some forgotten favorites and some, little known stuff from the vault. So let's get started. Okay, start with the big four, So I already did a ranking video for Metallica, and I put the Master of Puppets right there on on top. But I really want to spotlight, their latest, which is a Hardwired or Self-Destruct, latest studio album, of course. They've been doing the whole reissue thing lately, and this is a very long album, because it's a 2 CD set. But it's really grown on me ever since I got it. There's a lot of really good thrash stuff here. Some people called it, well, even the previous one, Death Magnetic, a return to form, and I really do agree. All right, so Metallica. A lot of people have written off Metallica. I don't know why. Still wanting them to do Master of Puppets Part 2 or whatever. I have not done a Megadeth ranking video because I'm still missing like 2 or 3 albums or so. But and if I were to do it, I would put Rust in Peace on top. But I here want to spotlight one of their, shall we say, middle period albums here from 2004, which is The System Has Failed. Okay, a really, really good album. Here, Blackmail the Universe, Die, Dead Enough, really great track. Right here, Back in the Day, really cool track also. The System Has Failed. Of course, I've already shown this, as well as the Metallica one, in my artist spotlight for those artists. As far as the Big Four is concerned, I'm not that big of an Anthrax or Slayer fan, and but I will spotlight here Worship Music. They have had, not their latest, because they have had a couple of more albums since then, but I really enjoy all of this album. Okay, The Devil You Know, great riff right there. In the End, fantastic. Okay, great cover right there by the comic book artist Alex Ross. Also, nice. How the Big Four, the least, the band that I like the least, and is Slayer. And I'm going to showcase here a cassette for South of Heaven. And this is a pretty good album, I have to admit. And I have kind of lost track of them over the years. I found that their music tends to have a very samey quality to it, So I haven't really got. Maybe I'm wrong, I'll have to give it another chance with Slayer. Though of course I know they are massively popular. Now let's go with a band that if the Big Four were the Big Five, I would put them in there. Or even I would put this band in the place of either Anthrax or Slayer. That is, of course, a Testament, for which I have also done an artist spotlight video. I don't know which one I would put right there at the top, though it may be this one here, The Gathering. Just a monster of an album. I mean, just the sound of it, it really, really kills from front to back. DNR, great track right there. Eyes of Wrath, 3 Days in Darkness, it goes on. Super heavy right there. The Gathering. I believe this has been reissued also with a slightly different cover. Another band that pretty much could be in there. The American Big Four, that's Overkill right there. Here we have one of their more famous one, which is Horoscope. I believe this one has a, does it have yes, flip cover right there. I believe that was the original cover, or was it this one? This one, of course, I think. Okay. Great vocals, just manic riffing all over the place. Overkill. I really do have to get more Overkill in my collection. Okay. Another fantastic American band, of which I've recently shown their latest, The Evil Divide, which I really enjoyed, and I'm talking about Death Angel. Here we have Act 3. One of their classics from back in the day. This one was 1990. Alright. You know, Seemingly Endless Time. That's such a fantastic track with that really hypnotic vocal melody right there. Okay, great stuff. Also have to get more Death Angel in my collection. Now let's go with a Canadian band that I'm pretty sure when it comes to thrash, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Annihilator. And this is a 2 CD set with possibly their 2 most famous albums, which is their debut, Alice in Hell, and Neverland, the follow-up. Sadly, this band was plagued with many lineup changes, all right? And so I think that's kind of what held them back. They have had their guitarist be their mainstay and anchor throughout the years. But I think if they had a more stable lineup, at least for a few more albums in a row, they would have gotten a lot bigger than they were. They're still a classic band, of course. Annihilator. And that the song, I know, Alice in Hell, that has the most cool riffs per song of any thrash song that I know. Okay, now let's go with some unusual or off the beaten path choices. And here we have from Sweden, I believe it is, where else? Witchery. Right there. Witchery, which is Symphony for the Devil. I do have a couple of more Witchery albums. This is thrash metal with a bit of a black metal sheen on top of it, especially in the vocals and of course in the imagery and all that. But this is just a great thrash. All right. Like I said, with a little bit of black right there, perhaps slightly death, but mostly thrash. Okay, really recommend Witchery here if you haven't heard them. Now let's go with the Brazilian band Nervosa, and I'm going to showcase a digital purchase which I'm going to put over here. Okay, and that would be Perpetual Chaos. If you haven't heard this band, which is an all-female band, okay, I highly recommend it. Great old school thrash all the way, with some rather death-inspired vocals right there by their female singer, Dios Satanica. The band is all girls, all right. And not only that, even though it's a Brazilian-based band, and they do consider themselves a band from Brazil, the band is really international. So they have like a singer from Spain, the guitarist and founder is from Brazil, the drummer from Greece, I believe, and the bass player from Italy. I've mentioned this band before in my metal updates, and they have been pretty much on heavy rotation, so to speak, because I don't have the physical disc, only the digital copy. All right, and it was a Perpetual Chaos. If you want some old school metal from a new band, highly recommend them. And now let's go with some metal here from my own country. That would be Mexico, with a band that has been around for quite some time, and that would be TRANSMETAL. Right here, 17 years down in hell. They do have they sing in both English and in Spanish. They have an extensive discography. This is one of them, and it is signed by the band right there. They have come here to my city a couple times, and I've gone to see them, of course. I still haven't got a patch for my jacket, however. Okay, so I mean, this is really old school thrash metal with some death overtones right there in the vocals. Okay, just look at that cool back cover and front cover right there. 17 years down in hell. Check them out. And not only from Mexico, this other band, but also from my very city here where I live. And that would be Cafra, which I do have here over here. Their patch. Morir de pie, which means die on your feet, right there. Again, old school thrash metal. I kind of get some Death Angel vibes here sometimes. Let me get a drink. All right, like I said, a bit of a Death Angel vibes here, but old school thrash all the way. Really love this album. This is a nice, short and sweet album, under 40 minutes, and it never overstays its welcome. You know, which is a bit of a problem with some modern metal albums that go on a bit too long. All right, so highly recommend. This is an independent release, so I don't know how anybody else will be able to get it, you know, unless you live here in Mexico. But Cafra, great stuff. Now for a band that many would not consider thrash metal. I don't either, but this has such a thrash metal vibe that I want to include it, especially since, you know, recently their singer has sadly, very sadly passed away. I'm talking about Metal Church here. They are sometimes described as heavy metal / thrash metal, you know, but I think this album, which is a total classic, The Human Factor, is the thrashiest of them all, and I absolutely love it. You know, every song here, from beginning to end, you know, The Human Factor title track, Date with Poverty, all of it. Great, great stuff. Metal Church. Whether you consider them thrash or not, I do consider them thrash influenced at least, you know, and with having some thrash vibes in there. Okay, well, that is it for my spotlight on thrash metal. I really hope to get, you know, more from any of these bands here, so I can improve my thrash collection. I will be doing some more of these spotlights. I believe the next one will be the power metal one. You know, that one is a pretty difficult to make. You know, because I have so much stuff in that genre. So stay tuned for that. Also, I might do an artist spotlight on Metal Church, as well as the updated spotlight on Arch Enemy. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and keep rocking.